as you all know, we had quite a week last week, and we truly missed him. Your children are so full of so much love and compassion that, I don't know, last week our community of Parkland, we could just feel the love for one another, and so we just want to just thank you for being supportive of your children, for our colleague Mr. Mikowicz, and thank you for coming out tonight. I know that the change in schedule was a little bit difficult for some of you. I guess Dr. Yo-Yo would like to open up the program. Is that what you want to do? Sure.
Good evening. Good evening. Yes, on behalf of what Ms. Barlow said, yes, thank you very much for your flexibility and understanding as we had to postpone this for a week. We also hope that you didn't have to deal with too much rain and bad weather today. So thank you everyone for coming. I just want to highlight some staff that are here to enjoy the night. We have, obviously, the admin team here is completely here. So we have Mr. Rivera, who's still awake in the back, Ms. Glady, who is the money box, and Dr. Murray. They're all here. The whole admin team is here. Let's give them a warm round of applause there. And then I want to highlight all of my English department here. My whole English department here is Dan Michelle, Ms. Gall, Ms. Bam is here, Ms. Mason is here. Where else is my team here? Ms. Coppola, I saw Ms. Hood. Am I missing anybody else? We're good? Let's give them a warm round of applause. They always do so. And then I also want to compliment that Ms. Melita's here for representing ESOL. Ms. White is here. Ms. Palma's in the back too, helping out too. Let's give them all a round of applause. They really good. And then last but not least, I want to recognize one of our partners. Okay, Ms. Wallace is here in the front. Thank you so much, Ms. Wallace. And representing the PTSA and our future president, Ms. May, in the back there. Please just give her a round. Every year, I just want you to know, I sit here as principal and I watch my staff perform and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what are they doing? So I've heard that I'm going to be shocked even more this year. So with no further ado, I'm going to give it back up to Ms. Barlow after this wonderful presentation. By the way, also parents, I want to give you a round of applause too. Thank you so much as you prepared our students. They went through a rigorous round, going in front first of their peers, and then in their English classes, and then in front of all their peers. And now they're here to celebrate tonight. Oh, also there's Ms. Vincent. She's there in the back doing more greeting, and she's here to also be a parent as her son is in the competition. Welcome everyone. Thank you.
County, Maryland, agreed to fly to Mercury in a steam-engineered spacecraft called Parkland for a student who wants to win first place for her milestone project. They land on planet Punkapillet. Characters: the teacher from the spaceship, the punk students from planet Punkapillet. Teachers: Mrs. Barlow, the intellectual head of the English department, who secretly despises poetry, but loves essays and wanted to escape to a planet far, far away. Miss Spam, a fearless 6th grade teacher who just likes to have fun. Miss Clarkson Gall, animal-loving 8th grade teacher who decided to join the space expedition to rescue cats and giraffes. Students: Veronica Sariana, Queen of Planet Punkapillet. William Escobar, King of Planet Punkapillet. Megan Arnold, a student who secretly admires poems about sports. Ian Atkinson, a British agent posing as a poet on Planet Punkapillet. Needy Matthews, a rival agent posing as a British agent who's posing as a poet on Planet Punkapillet. Navy Bradley and Nikki Patel, the 2 Planet Punkapillet twins. We hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.
props.
Questions at Night, The Moon, Dream Variations, The Tiger by William Blake. It's okay. It's okay. I hate poetry! No, but it's okay. Look, there are giraffes there. They're really cute. No. You can take one back.
You don't understand. You don't understand. I hate poetry!
It'll be fine.
Why do we have to let in here? Why? Where are we? Who are they?
We know for sure.
It's not blue, it's red and orange. That wasn't very nice. I'm scared. It's okay. I get rude when I'm scared.
The roses are red, are planted in school. We don't look kid place, we could have been.
Oh, well, so there's hope. I don't look hip. I got my Parkland t-shirt on.
What did you just say? To rhyme or not to rhyme? That sounds like someone. No. Like him. Shake. Come on. No. You know who he is. Shake.
One word?
Yes, one word. One word.
Shakes. Spear. I don't like William Blake.
But you like Shakespeare.
I do.
Well, I think that I should never see a poem lovely as a tree.
And some roses are white, and in fact they may be mellow, making each line you say rhyme certainly makes you more mellow.
This is the winter of my discontent. To be or not to be? That is the question. What is nobler in the minds of men to
I command you to pump.
Roses are red, poems are cool. Parkland teachers will go back and bring poems to their school. Roses are red, poems are cool. Parkland teachers will go back and bring these poems to their school. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's see if this kid can find some kind of work. For Parkland parents and students. Every year, students in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade memorize poems. There they are. Memorize poems, and it's difficult. For some kids, it's really difficult to get up in front of everybody and really perform. I want to thank teachers in the department for teaching our children how to do this, how to speak in public, how to interpret a poem,
how to analyze the meaning of a poem, and how to deliver it to an audience and so that it's unbelievable, that it's believable. Starting with 6th grade, she couldn't be with us this evening, but Shirley Benamy, 6th grade teacher, Leanne Hood, Kelly DeLauder could not be with us this evening. 7th grade, Symbiana Mashon, Deborah Copula, Pauline Pham. 8th grade, Cassie Claxton Gall, Tam Mason. All of us work very hard to make sure that your kids are moving beyond just reading the internet, but really enjoying literature in a unique way. Many of your students, our kids, wrote their own poems, and they were truly moving. One of the purposes of this program, when I worked at Tacoma Park Middle School, there was a woman, this program originated, not my idea, but a woman about 35 years ago, and do I know her name? No, but thank goodness for her, because she began this sort of community presentation for students, and we want to continue to do that at Parkland. And if you've been attending for a number of years, you realize how talented these kids are. I mean, they bring you to tears. It's just amazing. I forgot my reading teachers. May I please add my reading teachers? Caitlin Palma, my fault, Melissa Cato, and Catherine Floyd, who are just so supportive and who just really support this program in every way. So this evening, what we're going to do is, students, these are our finalists. You can see all the students that participated in the grade level assembly on the back of this program. We're going to follow this program by grade level, not by category, but the awards that you see here will be awarded, the trophies, by category per grade. So we are going to begin with our 6th grade students, then 7th and 8th grade, and then we will move to ESOL students. After that, we will have a short intermission. Please feel free to help us out with our school store and also to enjoy the refreshments that we're providing. We're asking that you be seated until that intermission. The judges will make their decision, and then after that, we do have another program for you. Ms. Wallace, Elizabeth Wallace, has worked with us. She's one of our partners in the science department. She is amazing. She has worked with us for 3 weeks, and I'm going to embarrass you, no pay. She does it because she wants to just imbue a sense of discovery and pride in the sciences, and our students, 2 of our students will be presenting Ms. Paifong and Ian Atkinson tonight. And then Mr. Bergman will be giving us a preview of the musical. So without further ado, I want to introduce our judges. Our first judge, Mr. Nicholas Chupka. He is the English RT at Shady Grove Middle School. Mr. Chupka, come on, stand up. He has 2 of his little Chupkas. Miss and Miss Chupka are with him to help him out this morning today, so we're happy to see them. We also have Amanda Plunkett, one of our former English teachers, here to judge. She's now a teacher at Julius West. And finally, Miss Marquetta Singleton, who is an English teacher at Springfield High School. We also, I'm just going to preface this, please, I want to thank Ms. White, who is just incredibly supportive of this program. Every year, she's here for us. Thank you, Ms. White, for audiovisual, and for Mr. Bergman for helping us with sound. Without him, it would be pretty awful. So 6th grade students, the 6th grade students that are going to be performing this evening in the serious category, Rosabla Linares. Then we will go ahead with the serious category for 7th grade. Jessie Wu. Then serious category for 8th graders, Yasmin Septi.
Nice. In the serious category, hope you enjoy it. I see people. I see faces, hands, emotions.
lost. Some like slowly dying embers. Some so bright they pierce the darkness deep. Some sparkle, part of the twilight sky. Some barely glimmer, hidden in the shadows. Shining for all their worth, for eyes that may never see them. Stories and stars, people and individual, to be known, to be.
Hello, good evening. My name is Yasmin Septi, and the poem I'll be reciting is Your Song by Elton John, and it falls into the serious category. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I were a sculptor, but then you're getting young. Or a man who makes potions and a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. So excuse me for forgetting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is what I really need. Yours, your eyes are the sweetest I've ever seen.
Humorous category. 6th grade, Zaki Hassan. 7th grade, Joran Vincent. And 8th grade, Abhishek Shipakar.
Hello, my name is Zaki Hassan, and I will be performing the poem Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll, which falls into the humorous category. 'Twas brilliant, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble it waved. All miss me with the borogoves and the mome rats outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that snatch. Beware the jumper that shuns the furnace bandersnatch. He took his vocal blade in hand, long time the maxon foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood awhile in thought. And as an offish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey woods and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through, the vocal blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head came galloping back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock, my son? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, what fun Joris day! Calo, Calais! He chortled in his joy. 'Twas brilliant, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble and wave. All miss me were the boracles and the mole rats outgrave.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joran Vincent, and I will be performing I Bought a Pet Banana by Ken Nesbitt. I bought a pet banana, and I tried to teach him tricks, but he wasn't any good at catching balls or fetching sticks. He could never catch a frisbee, and he couldn't sit or speak, though we practiced every afternoon and evening for a week. He shake or wave or crawl or beg or take a bow. And I tried but couldn't get him to bark or get him to meow. He was terrible at playing dead. He couldn't jump a rope when he wouldn't do a single trick. I simply gave him hope. Though I like my pet banana, I return him with regret. Boy, I sure do hope this watermelon makes a better pet. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Abhishek Chopakar, and I'll be reciting a poem called Jason Cohen by Mel Vernon. Last year, before the first game, when I failed 2 subjects and wasn't able to play any ball, I got screamed at by every adult I knew. Everybody, except my grandma, ganged up and yelled. I'd have to pass my classes instead of the ball. I'd have to hit the books instead of the boards. But this year, before the first game, I am copacetic with my English. Do you like that fancy word? I am up to date with my history. No, my interest in current events. I am square with my geometry. A little math over there. I am born with French. I'm not sure there what it means. I am taking the measure of chemistry, bonding with the subject I might add. Working hard on and off the court is the only way I know to make the grade.
Now the original category in 6th grade, the student is Monica Orrego. 7th grade, Jason Rodriguez. 8th grade, Nadej Job.
Good evening, my name is Monica Orrego, and I will be reciting a poem, an original poem called Keep Going. When you say that I can't do things, it completely breaks me down. So I cry to my mother, and she says to me, don't you let them break you down. Keep going, and don't look back. When you make fun of me, it makes me want to scream. So I cry to a sister and she says to me, don't you let them break you down. Keep going and don't you dare look back. And so I had a dream that I was stronger than you and that you could not faze me and that you made fun of me, but I stood my ground. And I wake to realize that I want my dream to come true. So I pray and I pray for it to come. But then I realized the only person who can make that dream real is me. So the next time that you say I can't do things, and the next time you make fun of me, you'll only hurt yourself, because I am not afraid and I am not ashamed. And I will do things that I think I can do. And I'll keep going, and I won't look back.
Hello? Oh. My name is Jason Rodriguez, and I will be reciting Reaching for an A in the original category by Jason Rodriguez. I got an A! I got an A! I've never really felt this way. I'm so proud of myself today. But see, trust me, this wasn't easy. You can even ask me. Oh yes, it takes a lot of sweat and tears and a lot of leave me alones, but this is all important in careers that can come hard or easily be shown. See, this can make me a doctor or put me in the driving industry or give me a special job where I get my own locker. You understand me? But it takes mountains of homework and a lot of tests. So much work until my hands almost broke. And there's hardly any rest. But now it's time for celebration, under no conditions, because I got an A. Hooray! I got an A! I got an A! I've never really felt this way, but now I think it's easy. So you should all get an A, like me. What is holding you back, I say? You say you want to be. You say this is your time. You say this and you say that. But it's all false statements after false statements. What is holding you back? Is it the disapproving looks or the judgmental stares? Or is it the fear caused by the stereotypical glares? Again you say this, again you say that. But listen to what I'm saying. To be success is to rise above the stares and glares. It's not listening to those stereotypes or false statements. Most importantly, it's through the sky and the clouds and reach for the stars. That is what I say.
I want to give a special thanks to Monica Molina, who worked with all of our ESOL students solely. And so thank you, Mrs. Molina. So we have 6th and 7th grade students competing tonight. Our 8th grade student could not make it. Atika Khan, 6th grader, and Nayeli Torres, 7th grade.
And I will be presenting a poem called Alone by Maya Angelou. It is in series category. Lying, thinking last night, how to find my soul a home, where water is not thirsty and bread loaf is not stone. I came up with one thing, and I don't believe I'm wrong, that nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. Alone, all alone. Nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. There are some millionaires with the money they can't choose. Their wives run around like banshees. Their children sing the blues. They've got expensive doctors to cure their hearts of stone. But nobody, nobody can make it out here alone. Alone, all alone. Nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. Now if you listen closely, I'll tell you what I know. The storm clouds are gathering, the wind is gonna blow. The human race is suffering, I can hear the moan. 'Cause nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. Alone, all alone. Nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. Thank you.
My name is Nayeli Torres. The title of my poem is Reaching Your Goal. This category is original. I'm jumping over the clouds. I'm bouncing up in the air, fighting problems that life gives you. I'm soaring in the sky like a bird. I'm floating in the ocean like a fish. To make my goals and dreams come true, I will fall and fall plenty of times. I'm toppling, I'm tumbling, I'm falling down. But life is like that. One thing that I know about life is that reaching your goals and dreams is everything you have in all your future life. Thank you.
Sound, everybody, photography, all of you, let's just clap. I just feel like that. What we're going to do now is we are going to have a 10-minute break. When I do announce that we are to be seated, I would just appreciate your cooperation with us so that we can send you home at an appropriate time. All right? So it's intermission. Please enjoy our refreshments. And if you'd like to help us out at our school store, there are even more refreshments. Giraffe and art production in Tacoma Park. Then I'm going to let her to speak just briefly to you about what she does. And she worked with Ian Atkinson and Misbah Ayapong for about 3 weeks diligently to we want to work with content areas, science and English, and so Ms. Walsh is going to just explain the program. You don't need this. You know who you are, right? Hopefully you
Last
do.
I checked.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Wallace. I'm the producer of Giraffe and Ant Productions. Giraffe sees the big picture and Ant handles all the details. What I'm here to talk to you about today is science telling. Now you've all heard of storytelling, right? Yeah, you do storytelling in the library, storytelling to your kids, storytelling to your friends at work when you're around the water cooler. You tell stories all the time, what you did today, etc. But what we did is we came here, I came here back in 2008, and I met Dorian Janney, and she brought a lot of the kids to the Storytelling Festival that we had in Kensington. And what it was to introduce astronomy through the arts. And from that initial meeting, we came back and we worked with the kids in Dorian's class, and we had the kids tell their own sky stories. And they only had 7 minutes to come up with a story. And they came up with a story, we recorded them, and then we sound designed their stories, and we made them, along with stories from 4 other schools, we made them into a half-hour planetarium show. And and it debuted at the Air and Space Museum. I mean, what's cooler than that? That's like Broadway when it comes to planetariums. So what they did was science telling. They took there's this new thing in this area, particularly called arts integration, where you have an artist like myself who comes in and teaches storytelling, or an artist who teaches visual arts. They come into a school and they help the kids express their understanding of one subject through an art form. In my case, it's express their understanding of astronomy and space exploration through the art form of storytelling. Now these stories the kids told, we put them on a zip drive and we submitted them to an arts festival in Flagstaff, Arizona. They were accepted. So the people in Flagstaff, Arizona heard the stories of the kids here. And then we submitted it to a festival called a Science Telling Festival in New Zealand, and it was accepted and shown there. And now they're going to be shown at the Hayden Planetarium in July of this year. So these stories on this little zip drive have been traveling around the world. And so science telling is now the big thing in the science community. You know, I mean, there have been journalists, there have been bloggers, but now science telling it's an emphatic need for the scientists to tell the stories of all the data that they collect and give it to the public in a way that we can digest it. So science telling is that way of creating the story around that data. So even the former chief scientist Walid Abdullati has spoken at several conferences talking about how important this is. So, go ahead. Yeah. So what I've done this year is I've worked with Jay O'Callahan. Now Jay O'Callahan is a nationally known storyteller, mostly like the traditional storytelling. But a year before NASA celebrated its 50th anniversary of the shoot to the moon, they commissioned Jay to come and tell a story about NASA. Now, Jay is not a scientist, but Jay was commissioned to tell this huge story so that it could come out to the public in a new way. Okay? Yeah. So Jay created they asked him to please tell a love story about NASA. Well, Jay was like, a love story about NASA, rockets, satellites, scientists, I don't know how to do this. But he figured it out. He went and interviewed hundreds of people at NASA all over the United States. And he came up with a story. It is a love story between two fictional characters. A woman who's very passionate about the personal stories of people who work at NASA and in the sciences, and her boyfriend, who is a little bit more logical. So the whole story is about them bridging the gap between the logic and the emotions. And so Jay does that very well, but in that story, which is called Forged in the Stars, he tells 4 sub-stories. So Jay gave us the permission to use his stories, which is very unusual for a storyteller to do that. So he gave us permission to use the stories with the kids so that they could, the students here at Parkland, so that they could learn to tell his stories. Now, the good thing about storytelling is you don't have to tell it exactly the way Jay told it. And so you can always put your own twist on it and put your own little unique character to it. So that's what he did. Now, we had another young girl working on it, Alexis, who unfortunately was sick today, so she won't be here. But because she had Native American roots, she wanted to tell the story in the bottom left of J.C. High Eagle. J.C. High Eagle was a young boy who was Osage in Oklahoma, Osage tribe in Oklahoma, and he had a vision when he was a little kid. He was only about 4 years old, and he had a vision that he was going to help people get to the moon. And then that vision, his mother totally said, yeah, that's a vision, stick with it, and he did. And he helped the Apollo 13 astronauts come back after their accident. So he was a NASA engineer. Another story is about the Voyager in the upper right, and about the golden record that it carries, as well as the one in the middle about the Challenger accident. The story that Jay O'Callahan tells is about Krista McAuliffe, and you're very, very familiar with Krista McAuliffe's story. But our student is going to tell a story about another crew member that was on that flight, because she was inspired by his personal story. And then the last one is the first landing on the moon. Now, when Jay told these stories to hundreds of scientists at the NASA anniversary, Buzz Aldrin was in the front, and he was the second man on the moon, and he cried. Big thing to get Buzz Aldrin to cry. So today, if you want to see the entire presentation that Jay does, you can go on YouTube, look under Forged in the Stars, and you can see the entire story. So science telling is something that we would like to cooperate with and coordinate more and more with Parkland, bringing that to the kids so that those who might not become engineers and aeronautics specialists, those people still need somebody else to tell their story. Because if there's nobody there when we launch, nobody would tell that story. Nobody would tell the story when they came back. If we didn't take pictures, if we didn't write about it, those stories would disappear. So those of you who have students who love to write and love to express themselves that way, this is a way to stay in the aeronautics field by not necessarily becoming a scientist. So our first science teller is Ian Atkinson, and he will be telling the story of Neil Armstrong's landing on the moon.
Armstrong reporting for duty, sir. Admiral Armstrong reporting for duty. Armstrong? Navy pilot? Yes, sir. Combat duty. North Korea, sir. If it wasn't for I was 500 feet down when my right fighter wing got slashed off. I would have been dead right now if the wind didn't blow me into a rice paddy and out to sea. Where were you last stationed? The moon, sir. Moon? Where's that? The moon, sir. In the sky. With Michael Collins, Buzz Aldrin, and myself. So we're standing in our lunar module. A lunar module? What's that? Well, it's an unusual spacecraft, sir. With some walls so as thinner than a sheet of aluminum foil. So me and Buzz, we were standing there. Standing? Why weren't you sitting down? Well, seats would weigh 600 extra pounds, and we just couldn't afford to have that. Oh, okay, continue. So there were me and Buzz standing there. We were standing. We were 500 feet. We were 5,000 feet to the Earth's, to the moon's atmosphere. But suddenly, shaking everywhere. The whole lunar module started rumbling like crazy. Me and Buzz didn't know what was going on. We called mission control. They didn't know what was going on either. Then I looked down at the Sea of Tranquility and saw a giant crater, larger than a football field, filled with boulders. So we were shaking, slowly shaking, about to land in a very unstable area. We had 60 seconds of fuel left, slowly moving to the side. We didn't think we were going to make it. 59, 58, the pressure started setting in. I took the wheel. We were slowly drifting to the side. Everything started going even more haywire. There was nothing we could do. We were just drifting out, with no control whatsoever. And then, when we thought all hope was lost, we landed. Then I looked at Buzz, and he looked at me. And with our bubble heads, we realized we're on the moon. So what'd you do next? Well, the plane called for us to go sleep. Sleep, man! You're on the moon! I know, sir. We asked mission control if we could take a walk. They said sure. We then tightened up all our gear, we put it on, tightened up the tubes, made sure that nothing would have gotten in the way. And then I looked up in Buzz's window, and I saw something strange. A big sphere in the sky, which would normally be the moon, except it was as big as a silver dollar. First I did actually think it was the moon, until I looked a bit closer. Then I realized, wait a second, that's the Earth! Oh, that's what it looks like. Oh. Anyway, we were climbing down the ladder, slowly. Slowly I was climbing down the ladder. Slowly. And then I was on the last ring of the ladder. There was a 3-foot jump from the last ring of the ladder to the lunar module. But they said if we couldn't make it, they said if the moon dust might be a mile deep. I took a leap. I stepped gingerly on the platform, quickly scrambling back up to make sure that it was falling. I knew it was safe. And then I realized I should probably say something for this monumental occasion. Why didn't you think of something to say earlier? Well, it didn't come to me. My job is just to get us there safely. So I decided to say, kind of gently, I one wall on the ground. Said, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. I then signaled Buzz to come down. He slowly climbed down the ladder as well. And when he landed, he said, what a magnificent desolation. So, was the walking there different? Oh, yes, sir. It was like learning how to walk again. Walking only on the balls of our feet and our ankles. And then, finally, this was the moon. We finally made it. You know, if I was on the module with you, I could have slipped you a little bit of alcohol, made you fall asleep, then go on the moon before you. I understand how it makes sense. Oh, I forgot to mention, my wife's dying to meet you. Helena, come down here. The spaceman's here. Are you Neil Armstrong? Yes, ma'am. I know who you are. You're the first man to walk on the moon. When I saw that white smoke and fire bursting out of that ship, and I realized That field was burning for not just your age, but all the other ages. The great scientists, not just them, but us as children, dying to get through, dying to know everything we can. And this fire, it wasn't just by the kids, but the same fire that burned with Amelia Earhart, Lindenberg, Leonardo da Vinci. And when you guys got there, Mission Control, I heard how everyone was like, not, I made it on the moon, or they made it on the moon. The whole Earth said together, we made it on the moon. Not one nation, but all of us. We made it on the moon. That's all.
So Miss Bejapong is next, our next science teller.
I'm sure you've all heard the story of Ronald McNair. If you don't, he was the second African-American astronaut to ever go up in space, which is pretty amazing. Ronald McNair was born October 21st, 1950 in South Carolina. Right there. He was a very, very smart man. So smart that even at age 9, he liked to go to the library to check out books because he was so fascinated with the world around him. So one day, when he was 9 years old, he decided, without anybody knowing where he was, to go to the public library and check out some books. So when he went to the library, he just pushed open those library doors, he walked in, and the whole library went silent. You see, back then it was very unusual for blacks and whites to be the same place together. And the library filled with whites, everybody just stopped and stared at him as he walked by. But that didn't bother him. He just walked by over to where the books were, over the left. Looked all throughout the books, picked out a calculus book because that was his interest then, and quietly positioned himself in line. So when it was his turn to go up, Ronald McNair walked up to a very old woman, black beady eyes, pointed glasses, wispy white hair tied up in a bun. He said, "Ma'am, I'd like to check out these books." The librarian looked at him. The librarian peered down at him and said, "Young man, you don't belong here." But Ronald just said, "All I want to do is check out these books." The librarian said, "If you don't leave right now, I will call the police." So the librarian called the police, and a couple minutes later, in walked these two big policemen just walking up to the librarian and said, "Ma'am, what's the problem?" The librarian pointed to a little 9-year-old boy just sitting there, swinging his feet. The policeman looked at the boy, the librarian, the back of the boy, then at the librarian, very confused. So at the same time, Ron's mother was rushing to the library, just praying on the way there that no one would take her son to jail. So when she got there, it was her, big policeman, the librarian, and Ron. The mother pleaded for the librarian, just let the boy take care of to let Ron take the books. She said, "I'm sure he'll take really good care of them, just let him borrow the books." The policeman said, "I don't really see the problem with if you let the boy borrow the books." So reluctantly, the librarian just handed Ron the books, and they left. So around the time that Ron was a teenager, he used to watch this new show with his brother called Star Trek. And Star Trek portrayed blacks and whites working together to explore space. And Ron admired that. He admired it so much that he wanted to be an astronaut. His role model was Neil Armstrong. Whenever he saw Neil Armstrong's picture, Ron always envisioned that it was him in that picture in the book of great space explorers. So Ron worked his way up to be at NASA. So Ron's first mission to go into space, he was a successful payload specialist, and the mission was very successful. The second trip he went on was the Challenger. Unfortunately, 70 seconds after the Challenger went up to the sky, blew up, killing Ronald McNair and his 5 teammates who were also on the spacecraft. It was a very tragic day for the nation, but it wasn't all a loss. Ronald McNeil's legacy still lived on. People remember him for his passion, his dedication, and never giving up to reaching towards his goal, no matter what obstacles stood in his way. People admired him so much that 25 years after the explosion, the same library that he went to as a child was renamed after him. One of Ronald McNair's main messages to people was that whether or not you reach your goals in life depends entirely on how you prepare for them and how badly you want them. Your eagles, spread your wings and reach up to the sky. Ronald McNair and his whole team spread their wings and flew to the sky, and that is what made them great.
Everybody around. Thank you. Our next program, and we'll have the awards ceremony at the end. We have our talented musical group. I know Mr. Bergman would like to introduce The Little Mermaid. We are privileged to see this first public performance, so give them a round of applause.
I also want to just recognize, before I didn't recognize earlier, Ms. McCann and Mr. Schwartz and all their hard work that they've done.
Mysterious
Once I hear quite a catch. The answer is simple. You've got to be human yourself.
Can you do that?
My dear sweet child, it's what I live for, to help unfortunate merfolk like yourself. Poor souls with no one else to turn to. I admit that in the past I've been nasty. When they call me switch. True? Yes. And I fortunately know magic. It's a talent that I always have possessed. Please don't laugh. There's a very poor, unfortunate souls in pain, in need. It's the long that wants to get that girl. And do I help them? Yes, indeed. Those poor, unfortunate souls. So true. They come flocking to my apartment behind spells, and I help them. Yes, indeed. Now it's happened once or twice, so I'm trying to pay the price, and I'm afraid I had to rid moves. Yes, I've had the odd complaint, but on the whole I've been a saint to those poor unfortunate souls. I have a spell that will turn you into human for 3 days. Before the sun sets on the 3rd day, you got to get your lips and kiss it.
If I don't,
You'll turn back into a mermaid, and your soul will be mine forever. Like but of course, there is a mermaid in my feet.
But I don't have
I'm
it.
not asking for much, only your voice.
But without my voice, how can I ever?
You have your looks, your pretty face, and don't underestimate the importance of body language. On you, unfortunate soul, go ahead, make a choice. I'm a very busy woman, and I haven't got a time. It won't cost much, just your voice. Unfortunate soul. If you want to crush and break my soul, you've got to pay the toll. Take a breath, go ahead and cheer the call. But you can't the boss is on a roll. You poor, unfortunate
Tell me, child, you got trouble on the mind?
Sebastian?
What is all this?
Just a few knickknacks I collected, that's all.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. If your father knew about this place, he probably...
You're not going to tell him, are you? Oh, please, Sebastian, you never understand.
Ariel, down here is your home. The human world is a mess. Life under the sea, and anything you got up there. The seaweed is always greener when somebody else's green. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake.
wishing the world is lucky. There's more words of fate. One day when the boss gets hungry.
Just woke up beyond the place. Under the sea. Under the sea. Nobody in this party said it is Africa sea. Sweet from the love, love so good. Under the sea, we are the world. We got no trouble, time is up, under the sea. Stop playing the heart. The sound is out.
The fast lane, the red, the brown way is up. The way you can handle it, so the shapes that drop right out the back. Stuff and happen, know where it's at, and know that love is blue.
Under the sea. Under the sea. When the sun is thinking,
It's music to me.
what do they got?
A lot of sand, we got a heart, there's the end.
We should have said it. Yeah, we know.
Under the sea.
Tickets going fast. Great cheap day. Good family time. I'd like the admin to come on up to help present trophies.
I'm going to ask, one of the things I want to do before we go carry on is let's give Mr. Bergman and his kids. If you look at the back of the program, all of the students that were semifinalists in the grade level assemblies are there. If there are any students present in the audience, would you please stand up so we can give you a hand? Any students that were semifinalists, please. Before we give out the trophies, we want to give out the Science Teller Award to Mitzvah. Ajapam. Is Mitzvah here? Where is she? Over where?
Mitzvah!
Where Mitzvah? And the Science Teller Award to Ian Atkinson. I'm going to ask, excuse me, Miss Anna Bashan to announce the series.
Okay, so the winners are third place. Okay, so third place we have Yasmin Septi. For second And in first place for the humorous category, Joran Vincent. Okay, for the original category, third place goes to Nadej Dagbo. Second place goes to Monica Orego. And first place goes to Jason Rodriguez.
Looks like a 7th grade sweep, so let's give those 7th grade. Miss Molina.
For the first place for the Eastbell category, we have Atika Khan.
Wait, first. Oh, wait, was that first? Yeah. Oh, you did first place first. That's okay. Retake. Retake. Dyslexic. Sorry. Not the Academy Awards, we can do this. Okay. Second place, Nayeli Torres. There we go. And got it down. I think got first place. I just want to thank everyone. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. Thank you to, I've thanked everybody. So just go home safely, and I'm sure Dr. Lee.
Thanks. Let's bottle up.